y'all, it's Angela here with Gibbs Girl Stitches. Oh, my camera's moving. It's been, wow, 3 years since my last Flosstube, and had lots of friends encourage me to continue on and to start a new one up again. So I decided, what the heck, it's been 3 years, almost. It's to the same month. I'm not sure about the same date, but we were in the middle of Mania, and I was finishing up the last week. So, yeah, pretty close. And I did Mania again this year, and it was quite interesting. I have my notes here so that I can kind of go back and forth to see what... I had to go watch my last video. 3 years, you don't know what you said. So, where have I been for the last 3 years? Here. Nowhere important. Just here, and had some major health issues. Went through 3 major surgery. Well, 2 major surgeries, 1 minor surgery. It is what it is. Doing well now. On the keto diet, thanks to Letitia Beckett. She's the one who first introduced me to it and got my mind thinking, and then as my husband got me wanting to get into it, and so we did, and it's been great. I've lost probably close to 30 pounds now in the last almost 3 months. So feeling good, wanting a change, and thought, heck, let's start Flosstube again. So if you're seeing me and you're wondering who I am, Angela, Gibbs Girl Stitches. So, what do I want to talk about? I think I'm going to save this video just for my Mania, and just kind of go through each thing that I've done since Mania. And then I will go ahead and do a finishes. I have finishes hanging here of a bunch of things that I've done that aren't FFO'd, and maybe some FFOs that I have. I don't have a lot. I tend to stitch and then hang them up, and I have so many grand ideas of wanting to do things, and then the execution fails. So I've got a good friend, Carly, who helps me out with doing some of my finishes. Hi, Carly. So let's just go through, and I'm going to go through my Mania, and hopefully if you find it interesting or whatnot, let me know. So the lighting is kind of strange, and I've got the window kind of partially opened in the back. Hopefully that helps with it. Maybe right here is better, and I can hold up the things here. So bear with me as I'm learning the ropes around this as we go through this again. So I'm not going to put them in any particular order, because I stitch what I want, when I want, how I want, and with whatever I want. So I don't have a specific thing that I could say, you know, this is the date and the time. I found that doing a lot of recording of things really stresses me out and frustrates me and takes away the joy of my stitching. I'd rather, if I see something and pick it up and stitch it, that's what I do. So Mania, I think I have 23 starts. I'll have to double check on that, but I will try to keep a hashtag mark of every time I show you one, so we'll see how that goes. So one of the first ones that I started was a Black Brew Designs. We live in hope. How poignant for this time in life. And it's showing backwards to me. I hope it's showing forward to you. I hear everybody say that, and I guess I'll watch it back and find out for sure. So bear with me on that. So that one, this is where I am at. Oop, it's currently on my Q-snap. And I have several things on my Q-snap because these are the ones that I just daily swap back and forth through. And this one, I just found such pleasure in stitching. It is so fun. And I'm bouncing around. I'm down here on this little string that's going to go across, and then there's some alphabet that go in between. But it's a beautiful pattern, and it's fun. It's a great one. So that's one of the ones that I've just started this month. Another one that's on a Q-snap, and I was just stitching on earlier, is Glendon Place. Catherine. Oh, you know what I should do too? If I can remember, if I've got, I didn't bring in all the information for me on this one, but this is on Be Stitch Me Fabric. I found them through Joy-Filled Stitcher, and I've done several of her auctions, and I'm loving their fabric. So this is one of my first orders that I received, and it's just a random color, not a specific name or anything, but it's Be Stitch Me Fabric, and I'm using the DMC flosses. And so Glendon Place, this is my next one that I'm working, one of the ones I've started. Catherine, I love these. I want to stitch all of the flowers. I know there's Isabel and, oh, I'm drawing a blank on the other one. I have Isabel, and so I know someone else has started the other one, but they're fun. They've got lots of krennic and beads in them, and they're beautiful. Here's my current start. I still have my needle even in there. Oh, got it backwards, upside down. Let's see. So this is supposed to be krennic, actually, and I am using Petite Treasure Braid. And then the rest are DMC colors. I do have one krennic I'll be using, but I went ahead and substituted just by looking at the colors and found the Petite Treasure Braid for what I could. If I couldn't, then I got the krennic. There's several of the beads that are on back order, so 1, 2, 3 will let me know when they come in stock. So I'll use those then. That fabric I'm using is called Glacia by Chromatic Alchemy. And I don't know where I got it, but it's Chromatic Alchemy fabric. It's 28 count Brittany Lugana, and I love it. I love this Brittany fabric. It's just beautiful to stitch with. I'll have a mess here if I don't put some of this just to the side so that I can know exactly what goes with what. One of my other starts, I just have up my printout copy. Let me see if I can do this without fold this in half. Is a cottage garden samplings, and I started this one with Sammy Jo. I asked her if I could steal in on hers and Jessie Marie's start for Merry and Bright. And so I started it on the same day that they did. I believe it was last Wednesday. And this is where I'm at. Not gonna lie, there's a counting error, but I'm not gonna point it out, and I'm not going to share where it's at. It's staying. I can fudge it, and so it's gonna keep going. And so I'd like to put more time in it. I really enjoyed stitching on this one. Let's see if I can tell you the fabric. Let's see if I have it in here. Oh, there it is. This one is called Through the Stones, and it's a Be Stitch Me fabric. So this one does have a name. Through the Stones. And this was my second order on Be Stitch Me. I just love that fabric. And this is opalescent. It is a 32 count linen opalescent. That's another thing. Since 3 years have gone by, man, I've changed in my stitching style. I swore off that I would never stitch linen or even weave or anything higher than an 18 count. I stitch on everything. I stitch on everything. It didn't take me long. Call me a liar, call me whatever, but the bug got me, and sorry, I have to reach for this next one. The bug got me, and it just caused me to decide to stitch on everything, and so I do, and I love it. I enjoy it. I have a great time with it. So whatever I feel like, mostly is linen. I found my sweet spot is a 32 count Belfast linen, and I really love that, and so I tend to stay there. But now I've kind of gotten onto the 27 count Linda. I love that as well. It's a little bit thicker, but I enjoy that one. But now I've started purchasing more even weaves, and so I'm kind of flip-flopping back and forth. So I have a wide variety, but I still stitch on Ada as well. It just doesn't matter to me. Whatever I feel when I feel it. This next one I house in a Christine bag from Stitch All the Things. Love you, Christine. Don't know if you're watching, but yes, I got me a bag. I love it. And this one, my mother and my aunt go to Maine every summer. They spend the summers up there and they spend the winters down here in Texas. So I asked her what she would like me to stitch for her, because she took care of me during some of my surgeries and just is a wonderful person, and I wanted to do something for her. She sees me stitching all the time and asks me about it, so I wanted to do something for her. So she picked out a Mirabilia design, 3 for T. And so I started this one for her through Maynia. And this is where I'm at on her. So I'm stitching down, I started it in the middle, and so I'm stitching down from the waist down on her from there. And this is lovely stitching too. I thoroughly enjoy stitching on this one as well. It's a lot of fun. And this one, the fabric I had was just something I had in my stash, and it didn't have a name. And then, of course, all the called for, it's a lot of floss, all the called for DMC and Kranic beads. Oh, another thing. Sorry, I keep interrupting, but my husband may pop in. 3 years ago, he was recovering from surgery from his left arm torn bicep tendon. Well, right now he's recovering from surgery from tearing his right arm bicep tendon. So the poor man has torn, he has no more tendons in his arms to tear, so in his elbow tendons, so bicep tendons to tear. So we don't have to worry about that any longer. Okay, so I'm going to move this bag closer. This is just a bag that I got from Hobby Lobby that I've put all of my starts in. So let's see, this is one, this is funny because I rewatched my video, and 3 years ago I had said that I was going to start this project, and I didn't. It's the Summer Bell Pull. I've had it, I've wanted to start it, I had everything kitted for it. My biggest issue was the Ann cloth, and it intimidated me for some reason. I don't know why, but it intimidated me. So I didn't start it. Sorry, husband walked in. I hadn't started it back 3 years ago, and I finally pulled it out for this Maynia and said, girl, you're going to do it. Just Just bite the bullet, do it. I'm so glad I did. This is where I'm at on it. And I'm loving every bit of it. This was done in like three nights sitting there. Just half of the page is done in 3 nights. And cloth, I've got it rolled up and kind of clamped here, but it is a it's a soft weave fabric. Miss Oh So Crafty, Stephanie, had stitched this one years ago, and then she just finished the spring one. And I loved it from the minute she did it. And I went and I bought the magazines, and I bought everything, the and cloth for them. And I was so gung-ho to start it, and then it just intimidated me. And now, after I saw her spring one, I was like, get it out, start it. Don't question it. I'm so glad I did. It is, I've had so much fun. My husband probably got sick and tired of hearing me say, I just love this, I just love this. It is, if you have the opportunity to do a bell pull on and cloth, it is so fun. It just, the stitching is so relaxing, and it's just smooth sailing, just going right through those threads just like butter. And that's with all the call for threads. This next one is one that I have started with a good friend of mine, Judith, and she is in New Zealand. Hi, Judith. We get together and we visit on Messenger, and we will stitch sometimes 4 hours, sometimes an hour and a half, whatever we can squeeze in, and we just enjoy each other's company and talking about what's going on in the world. And we were supposed to get together this year, and we're not going to because of the coronavirus. So we would have last weekend been at the Stitching Sirens retreat together, and she's not able to come to the makeup date, so we are no longer. But she sent me this pattern and the floss for it, and so I said, let's start it. And this is another one that I was intimidated by because I'd never stitched a Victoria sampler. So this is the Gingerbread Garden sampler. It's not very big. It's actually very small, but it is so precious. And it's got specialty stitches in it and all kinds of things, but I'm not scared of those. I was just scared more of the little amount of floss they gave me, and what if I made an error, you know, things like that kind of scared me. But I persevered. I started it the same day that Judith did, and here is my start on it. And so I have completed all the brown stitching in the gingerbread house. And I've started the snow on there. And there's trees that come up around the side of it, but it's not any wider than about right here. Oops, I'm sorry. It's probably no wider than where my fingers are. So it's going to be adorable when it's done. And this is on some fabric. I can't recall which fabric. It's an opalescent, but I don't recall, and I don't have the tag for it. I'm trying to get better about keeping my tags and stuff with all of it, but for some reason it was just a piece that I had cut off of another project because, again, it's only this big. And I'm hoping I didn't go down too far, but I think I'm fine. So I'm excited to continue working on that one. And I'll remember every time, think of Judith every time I do. I'll remember her fondly. She's a dear, sweet lady. Very glad I found her through some of our online stores, or not stores, Facebook groups. This next project I've had for a while, and this one is Star Spangled Garden by Country Cottage Needleworks. And this fabric is a 25 count. Let's see, I have it here. I did keep this one. This is one of the 27 count Lindas, and it's Snert fabric by Mystic Fabrics. And I know that a friend of mine, Regina, the Sweary Stitcher, is who gave this to me because she didn't care for the color, and I said, I will stitch. So I'm stitching 1/1 on 27 count Linda, and that's where I'm at. And on the other half of that, I will be stitching The Land That I Love by Country Cottage Needleworks. So I'll put, those both are in the same project bag, and I didn't start the second one, but I will start that one after I finish this one. I say that as if I finish everything. I don't. I have 80 whips now. So I stitch what I want, when I want, how I want. And I love it, every minute of it. So this next one I started is The Boo Club by Lizzie Kate. And this is what it looks like when it is fully done. And I'm stitching it exactly like that. And so I'm starting with Spooky. And then the next one is Treats. I have all of the patterns. And I'm stitching this on a 28 count Monaco, dyed by Dyeing for Cross Stitch, Kathy Davidson. This one, it's like a gingerbread color. I love this color. I've been hoarding this fabric for probably a couple of years. I love it. And I just needed the exact perfect project for it, and when this one came up, so that's my start. Almost. And I'm finding that I'm not enjoying stitching it in the frame, which I used to be an in-hand stitcher as well, and that's changed. I'm now stitching with a Lowry stand and Q-snaps for the most part, but I think I'm going to go to stitching back in hand with this one. It causes my arthritis and my hands hurt a lot with it, so I'm going to complain to somebody else, right? So I'm just going to try it in hand and see if working in hand helps out with that, because I found it was just too thick doing the two-handed stitching on the Lowry and the Q-snap. So, but it's another fun project. Let's see, what do we have next? Not that one. I didn't start that one. It was in there, but I didn't start it. Okay. This one is another Country Cottage Needleworks, and it's camping. And yes, if you've watched my previous videos, you'd know that we do camping. It's glamping. I have a fifth wheel. I have a king-size bed and shower. It's my home away from home, but so I'd like to do this to put inside our fifth wheel. And this is on some 28 count straw gingham that I got from my needleworks store in Coppers Cove. And I got fishing and part of a tree. So that's my start. And that's the first time on gingham. And so I thought that would be a good pattern for that. I think it'll look nice. It'll turn out good. This next one I didn't start, so I'll put that one back down. There's a couple in here that I didn't start, that I just wasn't feeling it and didn't start it. So, oh, this one, yeah, this one's a fun one. So this one is Donna Stitch. I bought this one 3 years ago, and I've had it, and it's Cinderella. I love the big chunks of color, and it's just cute. So it's a fun stitch. Nothing planned for it. It's just fun. I'm doing this one on 28 count white Monaco. And let me show you where I got on this one. I got the very top part done. Several little groups, and this was like a day and a half stitching. My needle minders are from No Name Needle Minders. And that was a lot of fun to start. I'm looking forward, I won't say I'm looking forward to getting back to it, because I'm looking forward to getting back to all of these at some point. I've never been a rotation person, and I've said that before, but I need to kind of figure something out, because I love all of them, but sometimes I forget that I've started them, and I come across them, and the love just starts back up again. This next one is done on a Be Stitch Me fabric as well. It's from my first order. And this one is My Token of Love by Rosewood Manor. And I got this pattern off the free table when I went to the Vernon? It was the retreat, Rendon. Okay, I can't remember. With Miss Oh So Crafty, with Stephanie. She hosted it, and I got this off the free table. And so I started this one on Be Stitch Me fabric, and it's 28 count linen. And that's my start. I'm doing it strictly in DMC. I'm doing one color. I believe it's 915, 815, 815. I should have known that. But I think it will look really good with the modeling on this in the background with all of the different motifs. I think it'll look good. So yeah, here's that one. This is another one. Judith and I did, we met up on earlier at the beginning of the month, I believe sometime. And oh no, when we were supposed to be at the retreat, we decided that Saturday to do a Zoom, a messenger meetup, so that we could spend time together, even though we weren't able to spend time together in person. And so we decided to start Joy Together by Country Cottage Needleworks. And the fabric I'm using is a 16 count Ada from Dying from Crossstitch. Kathy Davidson again. And show you where I got on that. I got the Oi. So during these, while we were stitching, she was able to get her O done. I finished up a few minutes after we filmed. So that's coming along. It's a faster stitch than I thought it was. I spent the rest of the day stitching on it and got both the Oi done on it. So that worked out pretty well. This one, I have several Soda Stitch patterns, and I've started one. It is the Fairy Tales, and I want to say it's two. It's the one with Little Red Riding Hood. I can't remember which one it is, but I've started that one. So I wanted to start one of the smaller ones, and I love Rapunzel, and I'll show you if I do a whip parade, you'll see why. I've bought several Rapunzel patterns, and she's my princess. So this is on Under the Sea fabric by Whimsical. It's Whimsical Winter, and it's a 36 count linen, and I'm doing over one on it. And this is, I'll show you the pattern. It's Rapunzel, and I started here in the tower, and this is where I'm at. So this is the tower, and this is some of the mountains and the trees, but it's pretty tiny stitches, but you get a little bit of glimmer. It's on opal. Very pretty fabric. This is my first piece of whimsical winter from Under the Sea, and I like it. That one's nice. I have a lot of Under the Sea fabric because that's my go-to fabric choice. But and I'm in the monthly club for it. I know this was day 1 and 2 that I did, and this is no named, again, Be Stitch Me fabric that I had gotten in, and it was fun. This was easy because I went camping, and so it was something I stitched in hand, and it was pretty easy to stitch in hand with. But it's Prairie Schooler, and I did the witch is the first day, and the kitty cat is the second one. And so here is the witch. And here is the kitty cat. So I have one finish from Maynia. I was able to finish the witch completely. And the kitty cat, all I have left is the meow down at the bottom. So, yay for that. So I got one finished and one almost finished. Those are teeny tiny ones. So that was I was able to do while camping. So let's see. This may be the last one. And I didn't keep count. See? Okay. Oh well. This one is a kit that I had received, and I don't know where I got it. It's a long time ago. But it's a Bucilla counted cross stitch, and it's a banner. And it's a Noel banner. And it came with the banner material, the wooden trowels that go on it, even the jute. And so with this one, I started the Noel banner, and that's as far as I got. But I have enough to do the Come Let Us Adore Him if I choose. I might not. I might stitch the Noel twice, and therefore I'll probably have to get more of my own threads in there for that, because the kit only has the colors for both banners, not enough for just one. So, or doing multiples of the same. So, that is my Maynia starts. That's what I did this year for Maynia, and it was a blast. I'm done. I stopped on the 21st, I believe, was my last day. Yes, I kind of followed the Jessie Marie thing because I really don't want to do any new starts next year. I say that, don't hold me to it, because, again, I stitch what I want, when I want, however I want. And you know what? I'm looking over, and I think I have one more start. Pause. So, I did. I had one more new start. And, of course, the most important one. I asked my mother what she would want me to stitch her. She always is asking for stuff, my crafts, whatever I do. What'd you make me? So, she wanted this one. So, I ordered it. I ordered all the floss. The day that I decided to do it and I got the pattern in the mail, I got my Fortnite fabrics I got my Fortnite fabric stash builder kit. Oh, it was amazing. I had so much fun stuff inside there. And one of the things was this piece of linen. And I thought, oh, that would be perfect for this. It was the perfect size, everything. So I got to start on that, and it's the Maynia, and it's the part of the sewing cabinet. So that one's for my mother. Sorry about that. My husband decided to come in and turn the TV on in the living room, and it made too much noise. So, so that was another start that I had, and so there we go. That's all of them. So, I kind of wanted to, like I said, start up again. I'm checking over my notes to see what I missed. It was funny because Betsy Ross was one of my 3 years ago Mania starts that I didn't start, and I wasn't sure how I was going to do it, and I started that this April, and I'm going to do it all in one big piece. And so that would be in my whip parade when I do my whips. This is kind of a jungled mess. I haven't done a floss tube in a while, so bear with me, and I apologize if it seems rushed or confused or kind of blah. But getting back in front of the video camera and talking, this would be floss tube number 6, which I am going to do it numbered number 6 to stay on track with my others. However, it's my restart video number 1. So I don't have any haul to show because I'm basically not organized for that right now. I just wanted to do my Mania starts. I think I'm going to come back once a month and do a what did I do that month, and kind of keep track and show each month my progress. I don't want to say what I'll work on because I'll inevitably not work on it, because that's just me. I've tried planning things out and it doesn't work. I've noticed that I don't like counting my stitches. None of that appeals to me. I just like to stitch. And so I'm going to continue just stitching along and having a good time, and I'll use this as my progress. And so if you like this video, please check the like box, subscribe. I'm excited to be back into the Flosstube community and wish everyone well during all of this epidemic and all of the craziness going on in the world. And I know we're missing everybody. I'm missing a lot of my friends and retreats and things that have been going on. But if you have questions for me, ask below. I know it's kind of confusing jumping from 3 years, but my styles have changed. Things I've done before have changed. So it's like starting out brand new all over again. But I'm having a great time. So thank you, and take care.